Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. How was your weekend? Boy, we better have a season now. We better have a season now. What a draft. CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb. If you didn't see I have a reaction video. I'll attach it to this video. I'll put the link in the description. But I made a reaction video of how I reacted when, during the whole process, the picks before, when we knew Atlanta was on the phone with Philadelphia, and till the actual pick, until after the pick, the realization of that we actually got the guy that we actually wanted. Man, I don't know. It's all on there on YouTube, cut up for historical purposes, so we can always see, how I reacted, how we reacted when we got CeeDee Lamb, because this is he's a guy that can change your team. All right, okay, let me go into the whole thing. I don't think there's many Cowboy fans that were upset with this pick, and if you are, I have something for you in this video. If you are still like, but we should have got A, B, or C, then I can logically tell you in this video why CeeDee Lamb was easily the best choice. All right, where did I start? Now, if you've been following my draft coverage, I started off by warning you guys that two not so obvious positions needed a serious attention outside of, the usual suspect pass rusher, and this year cornerback, since we lost Byron Jones. So we know we needed that. We know we need pass rushing, and we know we need cornerbacks. But in my opinion, our pass rush needs more of a more free agency attention, if you know what I mean, than draft attention. In the draft attention, only Chase Young would have came into the league, with an impact that could immediately bolster their defense. The only pass rusher in the draft that was able to do that year one is Chase one. And there was no one significantly better than our 5th round pick, Bradley. We'll get into that, Bradley Anae. And we have a young guy to work on now with him that might be another DeMarcus Lawrence. So we did, as best as we could at the pass rushing position. We're gonna have to look. We could not rely on Randy and Alden. Or Alden. We can't rely on both of them. Both have severe mental hurdles to overcome, and I hope both of them pan out. In the best case scenario, we'll have two pass rushing. You will have two ridiculously good situational pass rushes. We can throw them in on 3rd down in special situations and things of that sort. A guy like Alden can get if he's back in form, he can get 10 to 14 sacks or whatever in that type situation. So we know that, and we still hope. We don't know how good Randy can be in the pros yet. We know about Alden. But both of them together, if we have the chance, we can that's just extra on top. But we need to get some kind of short deal with somebody like Clowney, like Everson Griffin, or maybe a long-term something with Yannick Ngakoue, because Yannick's really young. We just have to get better at the pass rush, and the draft was not the place to do that. All right, and then outside of those two positions of pass rusher and cornerback, I was banging the drums about the wide receiver position and the nose tackle position. At nose tackle, we were excited because we had just signed, Gerald McCoy, Dontari Poe, and even though we did that and we were excited, and our defensive tackles are better than usual in Dallas, it still leaves a lot of concerns. McCoy's getting older. Maybe sending McCoy out there every single play might not be the best idea. Getting him as much rest as possible and putting him in at the places where he could be the most help. Plus, him and Poe were part of a pretty bad defense, pretty bad run defense in Carolina last year. I don't know why it was bad, but it was bad. So we have to get somebody here that can contribute in the future, can contribute a little bit, year one, and we can contribute in the future. McCoy can teach him up and all that kind of stuff. All right, our first pick. We had two things going for us. If our range of needs, with our first pick of the draft, we could have used almost anything. We could have used a lineman, offensive tackle. We could have used a wide receiver. We could have used a linebacker. We could use a pass rusher, of course, and a quarterback, a safety. Just about anything that would have fell to us that was good at that number 17 position, we could have used. So we were in a great position that way. And then secondly, we were in a sweet spot with talent because it just seemed like one of the elite guys was going to fall down in that draft. It just seemed like one of the elite guys was going to just fall. And coming up to the draft, I was thinking it was going to be Kinlaw. Kinlaw was looked like he was dropping or whatever, and people didn't know where he was going to go. Ended up going to San Francisco. I thought one of the four, our offensive linemen, I thought one of those might slip past, but Tampa Bay took the fourth one at 12, 13, wherever they traded up to. And then they got Wirfs, and that was all four of those guys. I knew C.J. Henderson wouldn't be there because people were wanting C.J. Henderson. C.J. Henderson was the last. There's a separation between Jeffrey Okudah and C.J. Henderson at cornerback, and then there's a separation from C.J. Henderson to everybody else at cornerback. And if we missed on C.J. Henderson, which we did, we could have got the same type talent in the first round as a second round with Chasen. I said Chasen wouldn't be there, and I was wrong. And with Chasen actually being there and me being wrong, it made that pick a little bit scarier because I was scared of the boom or bust label that was put on Chasen. He looks like he's a monster. He looks like he should have been picked right after Chase Young, but you don't know why his production isn't like Chase Young or why he wasn't drafted up with Chase Young. So that was just a worrisome thing that you'd rather go with somebody like Brandley Anae later on and see if you can coach him up to a Demarcus Lawrence type. And then teams just don't get pass on. And then the second thing about Chase, and I have that part that I was scared of. And then secondly, teams just don't pass on pass rushers. They just don't do it. Every team in the NFL needs a pass rusher every year. So if they see a good pass rusher, somebody will pick them. And if a pass rusher falls into the 20s, a lot of people have issues with that guy. And then toward the draft, I did hear about Jerry Jeudy falling because of concerns with his knee, and I wasn't Jeudy was the third of the three. I wanted Ruggs. I can't say I wanted Lamb. I didn't think Lamb was going to happen because I had Lamb as my clear number one. But those two I didn't even consider, especially Ruggs because his speed. I knew somebody would jump up and get him. But Jeudy seemed more like Amari Cooper, more of a technician, more of a Dak Prescott has to put the ball right on him like he has to do Amari Cooper and Gallup and stuff like that. So I was like, that's pretty much what we have. And I was thinking of other situations of possibly trading down, or things like that, where if Jeudy was the only elite player left. But it wasn't. It wasn't. It was CeeDee Lamb. And I don't know how many times have we had that player sitting there and we were like begging for that player and the name for somebody else comes up. And this time it didn't happen. It really didn't happen. All right, I'm going to do a full video on CeeDee Lamb this week. And I just love the way he's going to walk into our place as a clear number 3 wide receiver. It's not going to be any cockiness. He's going to be clearly behind Gallup and going to have to work himself up. And he has the potential. He has the potential to be number 1. He can play everywhere. He can play in the slot. He can play in the outside. He can run all the routes. And then the thing about it, his catching ability is DeAndre Hopkins. Like what I was just saying about Jerry Jeudy, Dak would have to put the ball on him just like he has to put the ball on Amari Cooper. They're open, but you still have to put the ball on them. This guy, CeeDee Lamb, is our one exciting player. So Dak Prescott really does not have to put the ball on CeeDee Lamb. He can put the ball anywhere on CeeDee Lamb because of a thing called catch radius. And he has a tremendous catch radius. He'll go up and get it. He'll reach over there with one hand and get it. He'll contort his body backwards and do the back shoulder. There's so that he can make every catch. And then when Lamb catches the ball, he basically turns into Dez Bryant. He's not as big. He will get bigger. They will put a lot on his frame or whatever. But he's one of those skinnier dudes with a strong frame. Because when he catches the ball, he's a hard tackle. He's the best run after catch wide receiver in the draft. So that is something different than we already have with Gallup and Cooper, and something more exciting and something that can keep us, scoring at will pretty much in offense. But we'll go through CeeDee Lamb and have a good time talking about that. But how we're going to use CeeDee Lamb, I did think about that. What we're going to do, I feel like we're going to come in the game punching. We're going to come in the game just like throwing the ball, just like how we played last year, really fast and really trying to put points on you and try to drop points on you, like get up by 14, 21 points. And then in the second half, we just hand the ball off to 21 and just eat the clock and make them try to stop Ezekiel Elliott. And if you do stop him, we still got play action or whatever. But I think our formula is really ridiculous right now with our ability to throw the football. All right, the second pick, I'm trying to get through this fast. I said this is going to be a shorter video, but it's not. And a second round pick. Now with CJ Henderson gone, there was no one at the cornerback position, like I was saying, that separated themselves. There was no one there. If we took a cornerback at 17, he wouldn't be much better than Diggs at all. And to be honest, a lot of people, most people that if they didn't say CJ Henderson, they said either Fulton, who was there in the second round for the first round, or Diggs. So anybody else that they were asking to get as far as a cornerback in the first round, they were available there in the second round. And actually those safeties, if we really wanted those safeties, we could have still gotten CeeDee Lamb and moved up in the second round and got those safeties, Delpit and McKinney. I guess we just didn't want them. You know what I'm saying? And it happened out that way. So in the third round, we might have the McCoy clone with Navale. I hope I'm pronouncing his name. I'm going to murder everybody's name. But he's super strong. He will be a future disruptor in the middle of our defense. And he can come along slowly. We'll need him this year for a little spot duty here and there. And then next year we'll need more. And then hopefully in the third year, McCoy is going and he is filled in as our defensive tackle stud. Now those first three picks were knocked out of the park, in my opinion. I could not be happier with those two picks. Two of them defensive tackle and wide receiver I warned us about, and we have a long corner. Now in the fourth round, we got we doubled down on corner. Last time we doubled down on corner was with Cheeto and J. Lou. And this year we're in okay position. We can manage now. We're not in a desperate situation because we doubled up on cornerback in that draft. So we have two now. And then next year we can either keep both, keep one, or keep none of them, whatever. So we're in good shape at cornerback right now, I feel like. But the guy at 4 was Reggie Robinson, the second from Tulane. Big guy. He looked, I think it was 6'2" and over 200 pounds, like 206 pounds or whatever like that. I see Diggs and Robinson the same. You know what I'm saying? I see them as coming in, working just like Cheeto and D-Lou did. And hopefully they'll be here for the next 4 years or so. Then it was this is an interesting part of the draft. The fourth round we moved up and we were going to make up. We moved up in the fourth round from the fifth round, and we were going to make a decision. Now on my board I had Curtis Weaver and Tyler. I can't pronounce his name, so I say Badass. Tyler Badass. Did we? And this is the question I posed to the audience. I said, wait a minute, guys. We must think right here at this pick, this fourth round pick. Do we want to get another center from Wisconsin with a very cool name? You got to think, a lot of us, we're special. We watch the draft and geek out over the draft and all that kind of stuff. A lot of Cowboy fans don't do it. They just pick up the paper. Nobody picks up the paper. But they go on the internet and they just look at who the Cowboys drafted. And if the Cowboys see, oh, wow, Cowboy fans see, oh, wow, we got another center from Wisconsin to take over for Frederick. And his name is what? Tyler Badass? Oh, wow, yeah. That would hype us up. On the flip side, Curtis Weaver good. I'm not saying anything about Curtis Weaver. But if the Cowboy fans looked at our draft pick, fourth round, man, we got another defensive lineman from Boise State. These are the same old Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? And then that energy we would have put on the fan base. So we put some good energy on that fan base. That is, if it wasn't for CeeDee Lamb, just take CeeDee Lamb out of the equation. If you take CeeDee Lamb out of the equation, that's my favorite pick by far. I've been talking Tyler I can't say his name. I've been talking Tyler Badass since I first started making these videos, started talking about the offensive line position. So I'm really pulling for him and hoping he can be, our future at center, and we can use Connor McGovern at guard. Then in 5, this is crazy. We got Bradley Anae, who was mocked to go much earlier. And the only other defensive end that I could think of that was better than him was Zach Bond, that we could have got maybe in the second round. But Bond had a diluted sample, so we just didn't want that problem. We let him go to New Orleans. So that was our draft. And then round 7, pick 231. In the 7th round, the Cowboys got a quarterback to challenge Cooper Rush, Ben DiNucci. I don't know anything about him, but I will soon. So today, I'm going to go all over these players. And this week, we're going to obsess over all these draft picks. We're going to pick them apart. We're going to look at them, from top to bottom. And then also, there are some really, really good rookie free agents that's coming into Dallas. I'm just waiting till everything is confirmed before I start throwing out names with certainty. But I feel like we've got some real good prospects coming out in a restricted free agent. And this is the year because a whole lot of players are going to fall through the cracks because the scouting process wasn't nearly as good. The scouting process isn't good, and this year it was less than because of the shutdown. So a lot of players could be falling through the cracks. So keep an eye on just about all of those rookie free agents. All right, guys, let's have a good week. And I just can't believe it. We had a real good draft. We have a real good draft. Now let's let it translate. Oh, and one more thing about Philadelphia. I have to tell more Philadelphia drafting Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna put it here on this video. Put it on the video. I predict. I'm a Carson Wentz hater. I predict, and it's gonna tickle me to death. Carson Wentz will have to sit down some games sooner or later. We all know. Jalen Hurts is gonna come in, and Jalen Hurts is not gonna lose. I wanted Jalen Hurts in our organization so it can push Dak, because that guy can out Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is what I said coming into the draft. So Philadelphia, he could Dak Prescott the heck out of Carson Wentz by getting that position and just winning. So I'm gonna wait for some quarterback controversy in Philadelphia, because I think a lot more of Jalen Hurts than some of you guys do. I really do. All right, guys, have a good week, and I'll holler at you later. Peace out.